try to address some of that blight as well. But we are working at it. So, and is there anything else I said that left out?
Ross, I want to say something just to add to what you talked about with the shortage. You have 7, and then other people need to be aware that you have other policemen that are doing other things that are not necessarily on the street. One of those main ones that are close to me, and what I appreciate is the fact that we have an SRO. And he doesn't have to do that, but we do. And you know, we had a program showing you our new little security things we have in school, and that's all good, but there's nothing like the real deal. And having that availability for our school is huge. And again, not because inside of our school it's the protection from the outside that we really worry about. I mean, we want them there for anything that happens too, but I mean, and not only that, but I must say, he's just not giving us some cop. We got LT Middlebrook, and I don't know if you know this guy, but he's one of the best in my opinion. And we've had him before as a school resource officer, but I'm sure he's missed, on the streets, and that's a huge sacrifice for them, and we appreciate that.
He is, but we are committed to the schools. I mean, folks, the schools, the police department, the city, it is so tied together. We did the Heroes magazine that you guys got. Part of that, if you read that article, my whole thing is the fact that we are connected, folks. All of this. If one part of us fails, we all fail. The city is not going to excel and become great in this if the schools aren't succeeding and the police aren't succeeding. It just doesn't happen like that. And we can go out there and make all the arrests in the world, but if our commerce, if the businesses aren't coming, or if the schools are struggling, it is all connected. We all will succeed or we all will fail. And that's where we're tied together like that. So that if you read the Heroes thing, that was kind of my interview with Janet on that. But you're right, we are committed to the schools, to keeping that officer in there. Because, it's a bad day when things happen out there on the street. That same thing happened in the school, folks. You ain't seen it yet. Charles. Good.
When an officer comes back from the school that you sent them to, what is their basic pay?
At that point right there, the officer will probably be making right around $30,000, give or take.
How does that compare to other cities?
Our starting pay is actually very comparable to other cities.
Oh, really?
Our starting pay is. But a sergeant's pay, the next grade up, that officer would be working towards in 3 to 5 years or so. I think there's like $16,000 difference between our pay and the state average for a city of our size. Yeah. My pay alone is, and please, I'm not trying to, this job takes a lot of humility and humbleness sometimes, okay? But my job alone is like $28,000 less than an average city this size. So it's as you go through the ranks, that's what's hurting us.
Further up you go.
Yes. Right now in Blytheville, from an officer to a sergeant, you're going to make a couple of $1,000. Divide that by 26 pay periods, it's not much. But in other places, it'll be $12,000 to $16,000 between each rank.
Has there been any pay increases in the last couple of years from the city?
No, sir.
Basically, Ross, what you're doing though is they're training the police and they're going someplace else.
Essentially.
Since they're making about the same money, I noticed Jonesboro's $34,000 the other day in the paper.
Right. Starting pay is not too bad.
Yeah. And I was gonna ask you, when you started with the police department in '91, how many policemen did they have?
Right, back in '91, I don't have the exact number, but it was, I'm gonna say it was right around 55 to 60 at that particular time.
Okay.
And actually, when I went to the academy in '92B. I've seen my picture. I am very young. I had hair. I think I even had a mustache at that point. Sitting around at that point as just a young rookie and comparing the pay with, because you at the academy with Jackson and Little Rock, and at that time there was all over. We were actually one of the higher paid in the state when I first opened.
I think I remember you saying that you had to give the police 120 days.
Hours.
120 hours vacation.
Yeah, 120 days, they want 100.
She said, I will be transferring.
It's a,
You and I could
3
work
weeks.
20 days.
it's 120 hours, and that's actually regulated by state law.
Well, I thought that was probably true, but.
How long are they here before they turn on, before they leave? What's the average time they stay?
I don't actually have an average time. I have done it in the past. I can't remember exactly what it is. But it kind of depends. I mean, we've had people a month or two out of the academy, and it may be about a year. I mean, by the time we hire them and get them through the academy, that may be about a year. So some of them, just as soon as they're coming out of the academy, we have them a few months after that, look at moving. Year and a half, maybe 2, maybe. So, and by the time you get seasoned up and you learn and you get that experience, and it's like, you know, you handle the situation, it didn't go real well, so you learn how to handle it better the next time. I mean, that is some of the things, they just won't teach you that at the academy. They'll tell you how, but, you know, on paper it looks great, but until you get out there and actually apply it. As an example, last night, as far as, you know, some of the work we did, we actually had 2 vehicle pursuits last night. We get in foot pursuits continuously. The 2 vehicle pursuits, a stolen car. The second one was attempted traffic stop. Two young men got out, they ran, they dropped a gun. It ended up being a BB gun, but there was also a match, so we don't know what we stopped. But that was just last night, so.
How much does it cost us to send somebody to the academy?
Well, there's actually no charge by the state for the room, the board, or the education portion of that. It's actually done through higher education, through the Arkansas, Randy, you may know more about that, but through the college system, it's actually, so they can actually receive college credit points. That doesn't cost us anything. But if they're there for 13 weeks and they're making $30,000 a year, we're paying them while they're there, including insurance, taxes, all of that. And we're not getting any benefit, we're not getting any arrest, any tickets, or anything out of that while they're gone. So that alone
Can you
is
not
what,
have
a third of their salary.
Contracts. Is that
Any
illegal?
mathematician can use. By the way, I'm taking a math class at the college, and that's where I was right before I got here.
State
Not leaving
regulates
the
what they
computer
can
center,
give
by the way.
as far as business.
It was not, which actually, and if I'm running over time, throw something at me, just say it, okay? There was, recently we were talking about our building, and if you guys go to our Facebook page, we actually have a section up there which shows the leak that has occurred. And a lot of people have said, I've heard this, it's like, well, why didn't you fix it? Just fix it. It can't be fixed. Back when I first took over as chief, there was issues with the roof. I was called to contact a roofer in Jonesboro to get some quotes, and I did. And his response to me was, it's like, well, you haven't fixed it in the last 5 years, you keep calling for quotes. Are you gonna fix it this time? I said, sir, I did not know that. So at about 30 seconds after I hung up, I got a handwritten quote. Spit out about $10,000. We never fixed it. Not by them anyway. We did it one time, we had access to one of those kettle things. Anybody ever dealt with flat roofs? They're not pretty, they ain't pretty, guys. And so the city actually got one of the kettles where they burn the tar and stuff, and the city employees actually, with the help of some community service workers, actually did put hot tar and eventually cold tar. But the issues with the roof began to sag, and at this point, it looks like it's actually structurally has pulled away from a portion of the wall. And so we had 2 more roofers look at it 2 years ago, and they recommended just tearing it down because it was structurally unsound. So it was about $7,600 to tear it down. But as far as then we would have to start all over again and try to rebuild it. That's what we were going to do.
Chief, you said in 91 that we won the highest pay city, okay? What happened that our pay didn't go up when our taxes were higher than anybody else's? Where's the money going?
Well, a lot revenue follows the county taxes. The county tax is 2.5%, it goes to the county, we're at 1 cent. So while the taxes may be higher, we may not be getting a portion of that.
Why did we not get it in 91? I mean, I don't understand why.
Right, well, I mean, when you were referring to the height.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the tax rate is.
Why were we among the highest paid and all of a sudden we're the lowest?
Well,
Not
I
all
mean-
of a sudden, but over a period of years.
Well, I mean, our city has definitely gone under some transitions, you know, as far as the decrease in population and stuff. There's no doubt, the entire county has. The entire county has gone through a decrease in population, so that's definitely going to affect your revenue. Regardless if it's, you know, 5% or 10%, if it's 10%, but you're having the same, you know, but your revenue is cut in half, the percentage comes out the same. But, you know, I don't know what the city portion of the tax rate was back then. It may have been higher than what it actually is today. Today, the city is only at 1%. And I know the state has gone up and the county has gone up since then, which adds to that tax rate. So,
One quick question, I understand, I may be wrong, as a businessman, I'm allowed to carry a gun.
yes,
That's what I thought, I just want to
I
confirm.
wouldn't stop.
I just want to make sure.
I know where you're at, I know where you're at, yes, you guys, you know, with our local businesses, and this, you know, we kind of laugh about that, but we want to have that good relationship with our local businesses. We've really tried to do some things downtown. We still want to get some better cameras and stuff in certain areas. We still want to, Main Street has this, feel to it. You know, not all of them have our certain time, like, you know, hey, we got this, guys, look at this, you know. It's something to be proud of, it really is. Till it
Like I
runs
say,
into your
if you
window.
hadn't chased that car down Main Street, he wouldn't run in my window the other day.
You know, you want to know, I gotta tell you, the first question that when they called me, they said, you know, it's like, you ain't gonna believe this, Chief, you know, it's one of those. But the first question I said, was that our car that ran into his window, or was that the bad guy's car? I said, no, it was his car. No, I went, "Phew, okay, that's a start. But,
Cost me $3,500.
and he's probably not good for that, is he?
He's not, he's in jail.
That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
he's not.
Yeah.
He needs to go get it.
Nah, that's what I'm saying, as far as insurance, right?
Oh, we got six,
We do chase people. See, there was
I
another
know.
one. We do chase people all the time, contrary to popular belief. We do.
I was going to be with an airborne when he crossed the river, that's how fast he was going.